Hello, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I feel like I haven't done one of these in forever. Forever. Absolutely forever. I am gonna get back into speed builds again because I like them. I think part of the reason why I quit was because I was feeling intimidated and not worthy, and there's so much talent out there in the community that it was making me very self conscious. But I remembered what it is I like about my builds, and that my builds are every bit as worthy as all the other ones. I like my builds because most of the time they're small, and when I'm building them, I have like toddlers, elderly Sims, and even though we don't have disabled Sims in the game, my builds are 99% aimed at a lifestyle that might include disability, even though it's not in the game yet. Hey, EA. But I can't help it. Disability is a huge, massive part of my life, and it's in everything that I do. So I kind of always have that in my mind, not purposely. I don't like these kind of builds because I'm purposely setting out to like and make disability, toddler, elderly friendly builds. It's just what I gravitate towards naturally because I am disabled. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I kind of regret changing the front of the house now. You'll see in a minute. But I kind of regret changing the front of this house. I actually kind of like that. If I'd have done something a little bit differently with the windows, that actually could have looked good. I'm sad now. But the end result turned out really well too, so maybe I'll build another house that's more similar to this. Although, honestly, all of my houses are similar to the, well, not all of them, but a lot of my houses are similar to this, anyways. It's just, again, what I gravitate towards. But yes, it is a small, very small, but it does have two bedrooms, starter home in the, I believe that says Comfy Cubby. Yeah, lot of Newcrest. So I thought we would build up some Newcrest lots or some houses and restaurants and whatever else that could be used in Newcrest because of the stuff pack that's coming out. So obviously there are plenty of places all over the world to use the new stuff pack, which is basically about kind of freelance selling your cooked goods, like baked goods. I don't know how to describe this. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. No, you don't, because even I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is like community bake sale type. No, that doesn't sound right either. Anyways, moving on. So your Sims with the new stuff pack will be able to sell anything they cook at the food stall stand thing. Ooh, that gives me an idea for a lot. Someone write this down and remind me to do a sales lot. I'll know what that means. You might not know what that means, but I'll know what that means if you remind me. Probably, hopefully, maybe. Maybe I'll know what that means. Anyways, I wanted to make some lots after seeing the screenshots and the trailer and everything for the forthcoming stuff pack. I got some ideas and I wanted to make some plaza slash park type lots specifically for having sidewalk sales of any kind, not just for the new stuff pack, though that will definitely be the focus of the builds that I'm going to be making. But there are yard sale tables from other expansion packs that you can use as well. And then, what's the one from Eco Living? The maker table? Is that what it is? No, that's not what it is it? It could be. Possible. But anyways, I had an idea for some park plaza type of things that I think would go really, really well, especially in this neighborhood of Newcrest. And I thought we could build them for the new expansion pack. It got my creativity flowing. And so I want to build those, but I want to have some, houses in the neighborhood. It's an empty neighborhood, and maybe just for the fun of it, we'll do some restaurants, a spa, that kind of stuff as well. I just feel like building again. I feel in the building mood again, and so I want to get back into building. Yeah. So it's a very small house, 2 bedrooms. The main bedroom is good sized. It's a normal sized sim room that can fit a bed and a closet and a couple of nightstands. And because it's the main like adult bedroom, if you will, I put excuse me, my voice just went totally dry there for a second. I put what's it called? Oh, the sliding patio door in that room. There really isn't anywhere else for a back door. And if you look at like very small ranch style homes or like the old 40s, 50s, 60s homes, which is where I get, I'll learn how to speak someday. It's where I get most of my inspiration from, is old, like, post war 1940s, 50s, 60s, not prefab, kind of modular, I guess. Where we live, the army came in and built a bunch of these little houses for the returning soldiers in, I want to say, the late 40s through a lot of the 50s. At least that's the story I was told. And they're all very similar, but they're all really cute, and you can actually do a lot with them despite being very small, basic homes. That's another thing that I like to show off with my type of builds, is that you can do some really cute things with these really small box houses and make them look good still for your game. And the nice thing is that they're usable by so many people because they're not massive, overfilled, like extravagant builds. They'll run on any system, they'll run on console. They're very playable because there's nothing being blocked, that kind of stuff. Although I will say that the Sims are getting smarter, I guess, as time goes on, because they very seldom get blocked anymore by anything. And that brings me to the next thing. So it is base game only. So you're not going to find a lot of stuff everywhere because I used only base game items on this, which means it's gonna be kind of minimalistic, a little bit empty, so it's definitely highly playable. You should be able to get the lot on the gallery as soon as I upload this video, if I remember, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember all the time to put it up on the gallery. What's something else I can tell you about the lot? Oh, it ends up being very mauve. Very, very mauve. And I did not do that on purpose. I did not even realize that I was doing that until I got to the bathroom, I think. And then I'm like, wow, this is very pink. Like, there's a lot of pink. Or like lighter toned brown, white, and pink. Very mauve. It's highly mauve. I was considering going back and changing some stuff so it wasn't, so very pink. But I kind of like it. It fits this house. It suits this house nicely. And I mean, it's easy to change colors if you don't like the pink. You can easily change the wall colors to blue and the rug colors to blue or whatever. And it doesn't it hardly takes any effort at all if you don't like the pink. Yeah, all of this stuff is base game. All of these things are things that have been added into the base game. Oh, another thing is, because I haven't done speed builds in a while, pictures. So those 3 pictures there in the decor category, butterfly, apple, what's the other one? Pear. I use those only as placeholders. I don't particularly love them, but I use them as placeholders for you to replace with your Sims photos or your Sims family's photos. Oftentimes, I'll do that on the walls as well. I'll take a number of pictures that are identical or close to identical, and they're meant for you to replace with your Sims photos or your Sims family's photos. Yeah, because most of the base game uh, photos and pictures and stuff are not the greatest. And I prefer having family photos around more so than just basic artwork. That's the word I was trying. Most of the artwork in the base game is not super great. Some of it is really good. I like some of the newer, like that one. I like some of the newer, more recent things, like a lot. But the jazz theme and the poster theme of the original base game stuff, at least for most of the builds that I make, it just doesn't fit. So like right here on this gallery wall, I don't like the butterfly picture. If you like it, you can keep it. That's totally fine. But in my head, that those pictures, some of them are getting replaced by photos of my sim that's going to live here. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I do with artwork, is keep in mind that the Sims can take photos and they can put them on shelves and stands and tables and on the wall. And it's a free, cheap-ish way to decorate, I guess. I didn't do too much. I didn't do anything here. Eventually, I give up on that little spot. I don't know why. I just could not find anything that really called to me. And I do not do anything with the little alcove area where the bedroom doors and the bathroom doors meet. There just wasn't anything that I felt was needed in that space, and there is, again, very few options in base game. But a good thing to put there would be like a little end table or a tall plant. I guess I could have used the snake plant in one corner and just sized it up. I didn't think of that. I always forget about the snake plant. Part of it is this house style is not exactly modern. And for whatever reason, I think of the snake plant as a very modern plant. And so I didn't want to go overly modern with it. But I think the snake plant would have fit in okay here. Darn, now I kind of regret not putting it in there. But like one corner could be the snake plant and the other corner could be like a little night table or shelf or something that has a little lamp on it for like a little night light or whatever, especially if your sim has kids. To add to the realism, having a little nightlight out in the main area of the house where you go to the bathroom at is really realistic. It makes that empty corner feel a little more homey and full. So that would be what I would add, but for me it would come probably from either the snowy, oh my goodness, my voice, the Snowy Escape expansion pack or the Growing Together expansion pack. There are a couple of nightstands or end tables or whatever from those and lamps from those that I think would look really cute in that corner with the overall mauve theme going on here. But yeah, I yeah, I think you got the full understanding of my thought process behind this build and everything about the build. I did leave the second bedroom empty. I did not overly decorate the bathroom. I left that more or less basically empty as well, just because it is a starter house. I didn't want to go too overboard. Your sim is just getting started. That's the idea. And so leave lots of space for you to add stuff as your sim collects stuff or whatever, and takes pictures or, whatever. Um, let me think. I've totally lost my train of thought. To me, the curtains with this style of house scream 1990s, but I couldn't help it. The idea was to keep it base game only, and yeah, it's very base game. Base game is very 1990s, traditional for some reason. I don't know. It's a little weird, but that's the kind of feel that I get. Or I guess not 90s, maybe early 2000s. Probably early 2000s, actually. But that's what you get when you have only base game. Not that I'm trying to convince anybody to get any DLC. Growing together, high school years. But the DLC or custom content. I don't do custom content. I do kind of collect most, if not all, of the DLC, though. It does help. The base game is not as limited as other base games have been in the past, but it is still fairly limited. And it does make it kind of hard to do a lot of different builds with because you're kind of stuck with one style. Well, I guess you do have the really, really modern stuff as well. But I mean, for most basic houses, you're kind of stuck with the one style. The other thing, the landscaping, I'm terrible. Absolutely horrendous at landscaping. The worst. And on top of it, my natural inclination is not to do overgrown, fluffy, full landscaping. My natural wow, I cannot speak. My natural inclination is to do very streamlined, very minimalist, very hardly there landscaping. So that I don't know why. I just I guess I feel like it's more playable. I don't know. I just like the look of more modern, sleek, streamlined landscaping. Not that this is bad, actually. This landscaping actually turned out halfway decent. Not as good as it probably could have been, but halfway decent. And it kind of fits the house a little bit. So I'm not hating this particular landscaping. It's actually kind of nice. But still, my natural inclination, that word is hard for me, is to do very sleek and streamlined, and I just don't know why. I really don't. It's easy, I guess. I don't know. I remembered the outdoor trash can this time, but I forgot a fire alarm thingy, the smoke detector, and I think I may have forgotten an indoor trash can this time. So one of these days I'll get a build that has absolutely every single necessity that has to be there, and I'll remember all of them, but apparently that is not going to be today because I still forgot in this one. Yeah. I just copy the landscaping for the back, and then we kind of leave it there. It did take me a few minutes to figure out this landscaping in the back because I didn't want to be overly symmetrical with it, but I also didn't want to. Can you hear that? That's my washing machine. I don't have a door over my washing machine and dryer closet anymore. So, because it was made for top loading washing machine, and so the closet doors that we had over it, we had to take out to put a front loading washer in there, and now they don't work over the front load washing machine, and sometimes it sounds like an airplane trying to take off in the middle of my house. It's awful. It's the loudest piece of machinery in this house. It's awful. But it did take me a while to figure out this landscaping just because I didn't want it to be too terribly symmetrical. But I think it came together in the end. And one thing I often see in real life in smaller, older, or outside of smaller, older houses are these cute little pine trees that they stick near the front yard. I don't know if they're just really popular around here because it's Wisconsin, or if people actually like them and like use them to decorate or whatever. But there you have it. There is my first build back to what is this called again? Oh, speed builds. I hope you enjoyed. Let's look at the screenshots now. Very basic screenshots. I'm thinking about going back to doing a walkthrough rather than screenshots from now on. I think the walkthroughs are better than just these moving screenshots. So I'm thinking about going back to doing walkthroughs. You let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.